How to use the Sculk catalyst in Minecraft. This video will explain the Sculk catalyst block, where to find it, and how to use the Sculk catalyst. What is the Sculk catalyst block? The Sculk catalyst is a new block that will be added in the Minecraft 1.19 The Wild update. The Sculk catalyst has a top half that looks similar to the Sculk block that is black with blinking light blue spots, and the bottom half is a whitish texture. The Sculk block can be mined by any tool, but the hoe is the quickest tool to use. You have to use a Silk Touch enchanted tool to drop the Sculk catalyst as a block, otherwise it will be broken. The Sculk catalyst will draw 20 XP if broken. The Sculk catalyst is used to generate other Sculk features or Sculk blocks. Where to find the Sculk catalyst? The only location to find the Sculk catalyst is the Deep Dark biome or the Ancient City, which is found in the Deep Dark biome. The Deep Dark biome is deep underground and near bedrock, around -52 wide layer, meaning vertical position in the world. Probably the best way to find it would be exploring the caves like the large cheese caves and going deeper underground. The Deep Dark biome should be easy to spot as it has unique blocks like the Sculk block, the Sculk catalyst, the Sculk vein, the Sculk shrieker, and the Sculk sensor. Most of these have similar textures of black and blinking light blue spots on it. The Sculk catalyst has a 16.1% chance of having 1 to 2 Sculk catalysts in an Ancient City chest. Just be careful as opening the chest will make a vibration that will activate the Sculk sensor and send a signal to the Sculk shrieker that if activated 4 times will spawn a warden. Wool blocks can be used to block vibrations, but if placed on a Sculk block it will make a vibration. The easiest way to avoid making a vibration is sneaking or holding the left shift button. The warden will drop a Sculk catalyst when it dies. This isn't the best way to get a Sculk catalyst as the warden has a health of 500 and can attack using a melee or ranged attack. There are easier ways to get a Sculk catalyst than killing the warden. How to use the Sculk catalyst. The Sculk catalyst has a range of 8 blocks around it, and if a mob that drops experience dies within this range, it will give off soul particles and create a path of Sculk blocks and Sculk veins. The blooming Sculk can replace blocks, which includes surface blocks in most biomes and all 3 dimensions. The way the mob dies is irrelevant. It can be killed by the player, tamed wolf, and by other means like fall damage. If the mob dies on an area of Sculk blocks, the bubbling charge travels to the nearest replaceable blocks, meaning it can keep spreading the Sculk blocks. The strength of the Sculk spreading depends on the amount of experience the mob drops. A player's death can also affect the catalyst. The catalyst won't spread if the player has little or no experience and will be varied if the player has more experience. A Sculk catalyst does not respond if the mob doesn't yield XP like baby mobs, also it won't respond to the Ender Dragon's death. The Sculk catalyst can also generate other Sculk blocks like Sculk shriekers and Sculk sensors. If a mob dies on a Sculk block, it has a 9% chance to generate a shrieker and a 1% chance for a Sculk sensor. Also, if the mob dies within 4 blocks of the catalyst, a Sculk block has a chance to use 10 XP to grow a sensor or a shrieker. The shrieker is used to summon a warden. However, the shrieker that is generated by a Sculk catalyst won't be able to spawn a warden. A Sculk sensor is a redstone component that can detect vibrations, which is a lot of different actions in the game. Those can include walking, flying with elytra, placing blocks, and minecarts moving. Depending on the vibration and the distance it traveled to the Sculk sensor will emit a redstone signal based on that. A redstone comparator next to the Sculk sensor can measure the vibration the sensor detected and output a redstone signal that equals that vibration. The Sculk catalyst is useful for generating Sculk blocks, veins, shriekers, and sensors. The last thing I should mention about the Sculk catalyst involves experience. When you break the Sculk blocks, sensors, and shriekers, they will drop experience. The Sculk blocks will drop 1 experience when they are broken. Sculk catalyst could be used to get experience from it generating these Sculk blocks.